Hello again, my friends. This is Old Tom Jin, rejoining our playthrough of Fallout 4 Survival Mode, my Permadeath run. Well, here we are. It's our first day in the Commonwealth. The first time the harsh light of the sun is shining down upon Thomas's pale skin, much like my pale skin. And we're ready to go out and see what we find here. Now, right off the bat, there's always this fun little uncertainty about what is the luck of the draw here. What are we going to get? Well, let's see what we get here. Two stim packs. Two stim packs. Not bad, but not not anything remarkable. Oh, but that's an interesting early find. Military grade duct tape, and an early start to our buildup and supply of ballistic fiber, which of course becomes very, very key as the game goes on. So as I said before, I'm playing with on survival mode, but with a number of mods. Chief among these are enhanced enemy AI and a mod that equalizes damage between myself and my opponents. So we're both doing 2.5 times the normal game damage. This very much ensures that combat is going to be short and lethal in most cases. Could be lethal for me. It has been in the past. As I have noted previously, I have never completed a permadeath run in this game, so this is my broadcast and recorded attempt to do so. As we move here across the landscape, first thing I would note here, of course, is that I'm well aware of the wonderful weather and foliage mods like Simple Seasons. I'm not using them on purpose at the very moment, mainly because at this particular time when the game begins in late October, this is an entirely inappropriate look for for New England. Granted, it's a little bit brutal here that all the grass is brown, but I guess we'll assume that there's it's pretty harsh. You know, you get rained on with radiation from the glowing sea every once in a while, so I assume that the trees are a little bit more stunted than they would otherwise be. But by all means, I'm definitely going to use them in the future. Here we return to the ruined development of Sanctuary. And what do we find over there? But who is that? Why, it's Codsworth. Let's go see him.
As I live and breathe. Oh, it's really you.
Codsworth, you're still here, so other people could be alive too.
But of course I'm still here. Surely you don't think a little radiation could deter the pride of General Atomics International? But you seem the worse for wear. Best not let the wife see you in that state. Where is the missus, by the way?
She's in a better place.
Sir, these things you're saying, these terrible things, I believe you need a distraction. Yes, a distraction to calm this dire mood. It's been ages since we've had a proper family activity. Checkers, or perhaps charades. Shaun does so love that game. Is the lad with you?
Shaun's been kidnapped, but I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna get my son back.
It's worse than I thought. You're suffering from hunger-induced paranoia. Not eating properly for 200 years will do that, I'm afraid.
200 years? What? Are you sure?
A bit over 210, actually, sir. Or give or take a little, for the Earth's rotation and some minor dings to the old chronometer. That means you're 2 centuries late for dinner. Perhaps I can whip you up a snack? You must be famished.
Codsworth, you're acting a little weird. What's wrong?
I... I... Oh, sir, it's been just horrible. 2 centuries with no one to talk to, no one to serve. I spent the first 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed, but nothing gets out nuclear fallout from vinyl wood. Nothing. And don't get me started about the futility of dusting a collapsed house. And the car. How do you polish rust?
Stay with me, pal. Focus.
I'm afraid I don't know anything, sir. The bombs came and all of you left in such a hurry. I thought for certain you and your family were dead. I did find this holotape. I believe the missus was going to present it to you as a surprise. But then, well, everything happened.
Thank you, Codsworth.
You're welcome. Now, enough feeling sorry for myself. Shall we search the neighborhood together? The missus and young Shaun may turn up yet.
All right, lead the way.
Proud to serve, sir.
As you can see, I've already gotten tired, but I cannot rest until I find myself a bed.
Picking up hostile life signs.
And
You.
now we're... Oh, that's very interesting. See, the thing about this is very, very interesting. The advanced AI makes enemies more aggressive, but it also makes Codsworth a little bit more aggressive. So they haven't spotted us yet. But they spotted Codsworth, or rather, he spotted them. So we're going to deal with that right away. Oh, Codsworth already did. Well, Codsworth may not even give me a chance to take them. Where? Come on, Codsworth. Give me a shot at this guy.
I'm supposed to be impressed. Calm down. At least try to give it a challenge.
Uh-oh, I knew the other ones would be coming. As you can see, we're going to make ample use of VATS. There's another one right there. They've basically followed Codsworth into from the other house. There we go. That's it. That's all of them. But yeah, ordinarily they're over in that house over there, and they moseyed their way right over here to fight Codsworth. Luckily, did not even see me. Because I will tell you, on survival mode, with 2.5 normal damage, they hit hard.
Mr. Thomas, your family isn't here either. They're really gone, aren't they?
Come on, Codsworth, I need your help. Where can I go?
Well, you could head into the city. Concord is nearby. But the people there are as put together as I am.
There's still people alive in Concord?
Yes, although they're a bit rough. You remember the way? Just across the southern footbridge, out of the neighborhood and past the Red Rocket Station? I shall remain here and secure the home front.
Sounds good. Also, clean up the house, sir. You had one job over the last 210 years. And believe me, I will be getting to that. I am not satisfied with Codsworth's man. I'm not satisfied with his performance over the last few years. Looking at the house, so we're going to have to have a discussion about that later. But for right now, we're gonna just look through the house here and see what we can see. Now, of course, Thomas has just gotten out here. He's already dealt with giant roaches, and now he's dealing with giant flies. Military cap is welcome, mainly because it enhances our perception, so let's equip that right now. And of course we'll be leveling up in a second. I just want to do a quick search through this house. Let me see here. We have a few bobby pins. I think it's worth going in here. I'm well aware that I could use the workbench to just very simply remove all that, but remove the whole save, in fact. But I want to basically get the experience for opening up these locks. So I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. And so, again, trying to look at this from a little bit more of a role play perspective than you might ordinarily in a Fallout game, or what most people would think to do in Fallout. What would Thomas do right now? Well, he's tired. He's just obviously suffering the effects of just waking up from cryo. He's probably pretty exhausted. His body's still pretty stiff. But at the same time, he's got his military training, which is going to immediately tell him, hey, man, you cannot go to bed without reconnoitering the immediate area. I mean, you have to know what's around you. It's going to be pretty, no doubt, pretty deeply ingrained in him that he needs to do that. So we're going to do a quick perusal of the immediate area and see what we can see. And what might he discover about the world as he looks? Well, right away, this is going to maybe start to give him the idea, as he starts to find more of these, that do people use bottle caps as something valuable now? It's a strange thing to realize when you're out of the vault from the pre-world, but nothing too great. But at least that gives me a little bit of a charisma boost if I need it. A dirty tan suit. And now you look around this place and you start to think, oh, wait a minute. This guy, let's just say that let's say his name was Roy. I don't know which neighbor this was supposed to be, but Roy was a bit of a prepper. Didn't Roy have something that he was doing before the war? Wasn't Roy digging a bomb shelter? And indeed he was. So here we come to a discovery under the ground, a bomb shelter. One real quick thing I'm going to do is I want to quick slot my purified water. I actually, in many ways, purified water is more valuable than Stimpaks in survival mode. Stimpaks, of course, in survival mode do not automatically heal you. They heal you over time. Short amount of time, granted, miraculously short. There's another one. But they don't do quite as much as they would do a bone saw. I don't really know. Hopefully, I don't need that. But they are useful. But they also make you thirsty. However, food and drink also replenishes your health and your vitality. So, of course, health being very much of an abstract thing here in the game by design. There, of course, is more of the most important thing we can find: duct tape. Duct tape and glue. Some of the most important things you get in the game. Adhesive is precious, people. Adhesive is precious. And you notice that I'm not picking up any of the pre-war food items. That is by design. They all are absolutely loaded with rads, and I would really prefer not to take radiation with every meal. But I am going to clear this place out of every little thing I can get. I just can't bring myself to sleep on that dirty 200-year-old mattress. I don't think that's something that any reasonable human would do fresh out of the vault. Maybe when I get desperate, sure. But I'm not there yet. And we'll definitely be going to take a wider look at the world in a little bit. But for right now, I think we should complete a circuit of Sanctuary itself. Now, here's where we would usually find the corpses of those other bloatflies. But, as I said, this isn't the usual circumstance. They're super aggressive now, and you'll find that other enemies are actually kind of aggressive. Some extra bobby pins and another Stimpak. That's a welcome sight. And a clean blue suit. There we go. Also better color for me. I'm really Tan is not really my color. A lot of 38, a little more 10 millimeter. And boy, I'll tell you what, am I feeling the effects of this low strength. I did this to myself because I said to myself, in reality, yes, 2 is mighty low. And we'll probably bump it up a little bit, but in reality, 95 pounds is a lot for a person to carry. It's a lot for a person to carry. And it seems reasonable to me that I would not be wanting to haul more than that. But of course, I can always put on my military backpack, which is one of the additional add-ons. I guess we'll just assume that we found that in the vault or here in the ruins of Sanctuary. So we'll put that on just so we're not quite as hopeless. But yeah, the game allows you to carry a whole ton of stuff. Now again, part of that is just abstracted for game purposes. You know, you want to assume that, you know, we could get into the specifics of, well, you know, I pick something up, I drop it, drop it before combat, I pick it up again. There's a bunch of things I could be doing. The game isn't going to implement, beasts of burden or carts or anything like that, just, you know, so I can carry more stuff. But it is a little aggressive. It's quite a lot. Oh, look, Grognak in a jungle of the bat babies. Well, at least I've got a comic book that has been sitting here undisturbed for 200 years and still legible somehow. What did they make those comic books out of in the Fallout world? I really want to know. And here, of course, is my trifold American flag, which I'm only going to assume was the flag given to me at the funeral of my father, Thomas Sr., who, of course, was my last attempt at a playthrough on survival mode. He met an untimely end, but for purposes of this run, we're going to assume that he merely died sometime before the war. Let's see. Oh, look, it's the Your Special book. Well, let's get in here. Now, I know what I just said about my strength being low, but again, I'm going to try to... I have priorities here, and my priorities are not strength. You can always get a companion to carry more stuff for you. You can always make more trips. I am not planning on going into melee because in this mode, melee is death. A typical pack of feral dogs will probably tear me apart before I can even think to get enough melee hits in on them. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to put up strength, right? At least not right now. Maybe later when I've, been out in the wasteland for a while, in the Commonwealth, and I'm a little stronger. Perception, as I mentioned in my first session, perception is something that you can easily boost, and my perception is already pretty good, so I don't really need that. Endurance, it is the key aspect of survival here in the wasteland. More endurance makes you tougher, makes you more vital, allows you to run longer, and boy, will I be running whenever I possibly need to against enemies. But I'm gonna do one that's a little unusual. I'm not gonna do agility. That's like I pumped that up pretty high. It's decent. I'm gonna do charisma. Why am I gonna do charisma? Because there are a couple of encounters, especially in the early game, where charisma makes the difference between life and death. On survival mode, with the increased damage that we're going to be doing, that I'm going to be doing, and the enemy's going to be doing, there are a number of quests where they at a certain point you get into a conversation, and if that conversation goes wrong, everybody opens fire. It just becomes a bloodbath. And for any of you who have seen any kind of gangster or sort of heist gone wrong movie, I'm thinking of like Reservoir Dogs or things of that nature. You know that when people get into gunfights after an argument at short range, it usually ends up with multiple people dead. And that's pretty much the way it works in Fallout 2. I don't want to be one of the people who ends up dead. I want to be able to talk my way out of these problems. Therefore, I need charisma. So that's my priority right now, is just to build up my charisma. And I think that's actually the most I'll need to invest in it for a while. I actually, with a 6 charisma, and the if you notice, when I look at my apparel, I have that clean blue suit, gives me a +2 charisma. All I really need to add on top of that is potentially a hat. As those who are familiar with the game will know well, there are various items in the game which increase my charisma. So all I really need is a hat. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to activate the old workshop here, not because I want to use it at the moment. This, of course, is the means by which I build things. I'm going to dump off some of this stuff. I'm already carrying a ton of stuff with me, and I'm not that strong. All as you see, all of these items, those who haven't played the game know, would not know that these all provide resources which I can use. Not sure exactly how cigarette provides cloth, but okay, I'll go with it. And duct tape, again, the most precious of all things. Notice I'm holding on to the bottles because I'm going to at some point fill them up. 2 hot plates which provide us with valuable circuitry. We're going to hold on to the trifold American flag. Presumably that's, means something to me. So we're not going to just throw that away and use it for cloth. We're going to put it in here. It's for safekeeping. Put away those. We don't really need that ammunition. We don't really need these 10mm pistols either. Let's look at our other weapons here. We certainly don't need pipe pistols. We don't need all those security batons. We don't need the switchblade. Alright, so there you go. We've already reduced our weight. I don't anticipate to need the clean blue suit right now. If I survive the day, I certainly will consider it. But I'm going to hold on to my... I'll just put the regular vault suit in here. I'm kind of happy wearing my utility suit for the moment. There's some more duct tape, though, sitting right there. We'll harvest that in a little bit. We can, of course, instead of just taking it into our inventory, we can harvest it directly from the interface for the workshop, and I will be doing that as I get deeper into this. I'm not planning on spending a lot of time in this playthrough building, at least during the stream. I don't think that's, I don't know, maybe some of you find that interesting. It seems to me that it's be a little tedious, so we'll probably do that mostly between sessions. But if folks are really interested in it, they can send me a comment, and I'll be happy to build things while everyone watches. But I have the distinct impression that probably isn't the most interesting thing to watch. And what do we have in here? Do we have... Oh, look, very interesting. A vault suit from another vault. How interesting. And a postman uniform, which I believe also gives some benefits. Just 1 charisma, 1 endurance. Okay, so, not terrific. Nothing in that cabinet. Let's make our way into this room. Now, of course, happen to know that this house is perfectly safe, but Thomas doesn't know that, so we're going to approach it with some measure of caution. And look at that, there's another caps stash. Once again, increasing his knowledge of the world. Like, hey, people seem to value this stuff. They put it in boxes and squirrel it away in places. A desk fan, of course, another one of those very valuable little items. It gives you gears and screws and all kinds of good stuff. These must have been really well built houses, because that bomb, when we first went down into the vault, really seemed like it went off pretty close. And yet, there we go, rad roach hanging out on the wall. And there's another one in here somewhere. There he is. So we dealt with them, which is good, because them's good eating. It's a survival situation, folks. We have to eat. We have to eat what we come across. So, rad roach it is. Not happy about it. But that's what we've got. And let's see what I'm really looking for. No, I'm not getting good. Well, of course, what I'm really, really would like to find in here somewhere, and so far I'm not lucky, is a set of or a dose of antibiotics. I am going to be getting into probably some early combats here. I hope I don't get tagged by a creature, but it's likely that I will. Well, I found a pompadour wig. I don't know that. Sure, hey, it'll work. It'll give me charisma bonuses. I'll hold on to it. Kind of ridiculous, yes. But hey, I will accept the reality with which I am given. People like pompadour wigs, apparently. Makes me that much more charismatic. Or maybe they're just nice to me because they think I'm insane to be wearing that. So now I'm getting peckish from lack of food, so we're gonna have to do something about that. I'm tired and slightly hungry. Thomas is no doubt getting a little bit cranky here. I gotta say, I'm not getting particularly good draws here on the random stuff inside these various containers, but hey, you know that's the way it works. Sometimes you get great stuff just laying around in Sanctuary, and sometimes you don't. Pretty standard. This by the way, we also find out if we go into that guy's terminal, which I'm not going to, because it's not important right now. But we find out that he is was a drug dealer. And look, after all this time, there's some drugs left over. You really get the feeling that there really are not a lot of people have come here to Sanctuary in the time since the war. There's a lot of areas that are quite undisturbed. One could argue about whether that's particularly realistic given the time frame from now since the war, but whatever. it's one of the I find one of the amusing things about Fallout. There we go. See right away. What did I just say? Something. Little guy leaped out at me. He tagged me. Top off my magazine. I believe there's one more. We don't want to clip the car and have it blow up. And why, look at this, a cooking station. Well, someone was living down here. And obviously not doing a very thorough job of cleaning the place. So we'll do a quick perusal of this last house. I continue to pick up bottles wherever I find them. More stim packs, no antibiotics. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. And potentially lethal. If I go to sleep and I wake up and I have an infection, it's pretty much game over at this point if that happens, because the infection will continue to at least puts me in an extremely desperate situation where I might have to take some really unfortunate risks, because infection just damages you over time, and that's not good, because I'm a long way from a doctor. I don't even know where a doctor would be. So there's the cooking station. We've gotten ourselves a little bit of a meal. But I mean, where the heck can we sleep? Well, I suppose one could say I'd be desperate enough to sleep on that dirty mattress, but like I said, I don't think he's that desperate yet. I don't think we're quite there. We are going to eat something really quickly to make sure we don't eat the uncooked meat, because that'll ratify us. Little grilled rad roach. But I think what we need to do right now is let's just say that while I've been doing this, so we'll do a little bit of workshop work here. While I've been doing this, I've been ordering Codsworth like, hey man, start cleaning this place up. I mean, you really, I know you gave up over time, but you really let yourself go. And if you, by the way, if those who are keen-eyed observers will notice that I have installed a Scrap That Settlement mod, which to me is an essential part of cleaning up Sanctuary, making it look decent. So we're going to immediately say, Codsworth, clean out this damn bedroom. I want someplace I can sleep. And so he'll be doing that. He'll build something for me. And let's just say that Codsworth has been keeping a packed mattress in the closet all this time, waiting for me to find it. So we'll gradually have Codsworth clean up this house, well, meaning that I will, probably between sessions. And, you know, let's get this place back in ship shape, man. I mean, this is no good. So we're tired, but you know what? Are we safe? I mean, I've circumnavigated a lot of this, but not the whole area. There's still a lot back here that I haven't explored. So let's... I mean, I don't know. I don't think Thomas would be particularly secure yet. He'd want to at least do a wider loop. We're just going to take the frag grenades. That's all I want. It's always nice to have frag grenades in the mail. We're not going to cross the bridge quite yet. At least not... Well, maybe we will. There's a couple things over there that we might want. I'm just going to gingerly cross the bridge here. Just to see what's over here. And what do we find, of course? A dead raider. We will strip of his goods. We're not going to go as far as the Red Rocket Station, not yet. We are going to see that green bag over there. We're going to... Let's just say, you know, we see dead bodies, let's pull back. We're not well equipped. We want to probably take what we've gotten from this guy, hole up for a second, take a look at it, see what he's got, what we can learn about the world. And again, of course, I'm trying to think about, you know, what is the most naturalistic way of playing here? What would someone do? What would someone like this do? You know, they're torn. They're looking for their child, but at the same time, they don't want to go running headlong into the jaws of some unknown beast before they're ready to deal with it. And I think he's probably, you know, he's tired, but he's probably still... He's not going to allow himself to sleep yet. I mean, he's not really secure here. Well, what have we got? Let's see what this guy has given us. Well, first of all, we've been putting off leveling up. Let's do that right now. And right away, the most important thing to me, at least, is this right here. Gun nut or stealth. These are the two most important things. Stealth being maybe one of the most important things in the early game. It's going to keep me alive. Maybe more important than it's arguable which of these is important for the very first level up. You certainly want to be undetected. Uh, the guns do a hell of a lot of damage. So I think we're going to definitely do gun nut, but let's wait till we have a few more resources before we start thinking about modding our guns heavily. We're going to start with sneak because they cannot kill what they cannot detect. The other thing we're going to do is probably change our apparel. I mean, this the Vault utility jumpsuit is nice, but we have a little bit more damage resistance with this drifter outfit. Granted, it is heavier, and we're definitely going to store some of the stuff we've recovered here. We don't need all this crap. We don't need a pompadour wig at the moment. Let's store the other wedding ring. Not that obviously it means a lot. That's why we're going to keep it safe. And what else? We're going to... Oh, no, we don't want to store that. Sorry. That's food. We can eat that. We want to store the uncooked meat. And of course, again, for those who are not familiar with the game for whatever reason, this stuff is sort of a common repository. So whatever we put in here in any of these workbenches, the cooking station or what have you, it will all end up in the same place. So that's a good thing. We're going to keep the bottles on us though, because sooner or later we're going to want to fill those up. Yeah, but are we really secure yet? No, let's keep looking because we haven't really done a reconnoiter. So we saw that part of the. Let's look at the river down from this side. Let's see what we can find. Well, we find some spam that no one ate. Pardon me, cram. Nothing down there. What do we see across the river? Nothing. Nothing. I don't think. Ah, so we see a wild mongrel making his way across there. So right away, all right, we saw one that was dead over there. We see one over there. That immediately lets us know, okay, there's some dangerous dogs out there. And what if he comes across the creek? What if he comes across the bridge? Should we deal with him now? Maybe we should go deal with him now. You'll notice that I haven't yet used one of the pipe weapons that I've got. I did install a mod that reduces the requirements for modding pipe weapons, because frankly I never used them in the past at all, because by the time you would get the level of perks to modify them substantially so they'd be useful, you'd already have access to better weapons, so there's really no reason to do it. So I thought, well, let's lower the requirements so there might be a case for them. I don't know. I mean, there is still, maybe there is a case for one thing. Most of them use 38 special ammo, which is one of the most common types of ammunition in the game. But they don't have particularly good stats. So, as I said, adhesive and screws and all that stuff, that's precious. So do you really want to invest that in modifying a weapon that's at its base frame inferior to the other ones you can get? I don't know. So here we are stalking this lone wild mongrel. I always feel a little tiny bit bad when I kill the doggies, but they are, of course, vicious wild mongrels. We gotta be very careful that we do not drink the water by clicking in the wrong place. Because that's a quick way to acquire rads. There we go. Far more valuable to me is that dough. And you see how much damage this thing is. That's a sneak attack bonus, of course, added onto that, but which we'll be making ample and frequent use of. But at the same time, dude ate a wooden block. I don't think we're going to bother taking that. Okay, so we're going to stay away. I know for a fact that there's some more stuff out there, but I don't want to go any further than this. Is only so far afield. Number one, I don't think that we're going to want to put the lake between me and Home Sweet Home. And do we want to visit the Red Rocket? Yes, we do. Am I going to visit the Red Rocket yet? No. Companions are a funny thing in this game. They give you, in many ways, they give you benefits. Some people think they make the game too easy. I do not find that at all. Certainly not on survival mode, and mainly because yeah, okay, they're distractions. They soak up bullets. They can kill some of the enemies for you, but just as often they get in your way. I mean, they walk in front of bullets. They're just... Hello there. Good morning. Just an early morning session here, starting off my Fallout Permadeath run. Yes, indeed, I am. Talking about whether they're a good thing or a bad thing. Generally speaking, I find that they're more harm than good. They kill me more often than not. And when I say kill me, of course, I mean get in the way at exactly the wrong time so I can't shoot the enemy, and then the enemy closes on me and kills me. And then of course the argument is, are the benefits that they give you when you get affinity with them, are they worth it or not? You know, in some cases I think, yeah, again, depending on your play style and how you're playing, sometimes okay, there's some value to it, but yeah, I cannot tell you how many times I was saying last night when I started this that I want to make a list of all the things that have killed me in survival mode. And the one that's got to be on the top of my list is Molotov cocktails. Molotov cocktails kill me more often than not. And this does relate to the companions, by the way. But the thing that that I was saying about Molotov cocktails is that more often than not, it's a self-kill. I self-kill because, you know, almost the same amount of time that raiders kill me. And why do I self-kill with the Molotovs? Well, most of the time it's because, you know, Codsworth or somebody walked in front of me and like tripped up my Molotov and it explodes right in front of me. Right, exactly. They rush enemies. They typically have terrible stealth. You know, they're just bad news. They're just bad news. So I will be using them only pretty much, I think, as the plot requires, and the rest of the time pretty much going solo. Maybe at low level here because the build I have is very low strength. I will certainly use them for mules, for carrying stuff, but it's kind of, you know, leave them by the wayside whenever possible. But yeah, one of the things I decided on this one, I was going to have a fairly low strength invest elsewhere, so I cannot carry a whole lot. And there's some more wild mongrels. But yeah, there are a lot of mods out there that claim to do improved intelligence for NPCs, and they do. And I'm playing one that does makes them more aggressive, but it doesn't make the NPCs any better. The companions, they're just as foolish and as they always were. There are those mongrels. moguls. So let me see if I can take these guys out without getting myself killed. Make sure that... Well, the raid... I know there's a raider up there. There they are. Come on, boys. March to your death. Where is he? There he is. Yeah. There's a lot of that in this game. And every time they have the little yelp, oh, look at that early military grade duct tape. There's that little like, oh, the dog, or the little dog died. But they are, after all, again, vicious mongrels. So now we're going to go pay a visit in this direction to the scavenger who's doing his target practice over here. And the thing I love about the survival playthrough is it just adds more tension to these kind of encounters. That if you're playing in regular or even other kinds of difficulty, it's not nearly as tense. Yeah, this guy slowly doing his target practice here. And we'll never do target practice again. Oh no, this is just beginning. This was a playthrough that I started in the new year, and I'm just sort of the last days of my holiday vacation, so I'm taking the advantage of that time to get this started. But I don't know. As I was saying in the outset of this, I've never actually completed a permadeath run on survival difficulty, so this will be a new challenge for me. Yes, exactly. Look at the flowers, etc. But yeah, this will be a challenge. I don't know how far I'm going to get in this because I'm certainly I have typically the accuracy of an Imperial Stormtrooper. So we're going to see how successful I am at this. But yeah, I thought it would be a good challenge for the new year. I think what inspired me was actually there were some holiday sales on some of the stuff from the creation kit, and some of it they were usually I don't pay for a lot of that stuff, but because I prefer to get stuff directly from the modders, but I decided to take advantage of it, and I thought, hey, I've never done this before. I've never done a playthrough on permadeath on survival. I'm going to give it a roll, and never successfully, so I'm going to give it another roll. No, I have some mods. At some point, I'll go through and list the mods in here. My principle with the mods is it's not so much I want to make things more or less difficult. I just I'm picking things that I think are going to be interesting. Not going to go this direction. And this, of course, is actually one of the more dangerous encounters I can get here at the beginning of the game. One of the things I did was I guess this is the furthest from vanilla survival, is I don't like the whole I do 0.5 regular damage and the enemies do 2.5 regular damage, so I equalized out the damage. I thought that was a little... Yes, that's exactly right. That's my plan. If I'm successful, we'll see. Let's see, just ever so slightly. There's that one.
Someone there?
That, of course, is a Raider Psycho. And you see how I'm also playing with an enhanced AI, which gives them a little bit better detection, so I'm going to retreat immediately.
Nothing there
Yes, I'm intending to go more toward VATS. The focus originally is just to get the stealth in there. Uh, my my earlier comment was, what they cannot detect, they cannot kill. So that's my first priority. There they
now.
are.
Did
Oh
you hear
boy,
that?
they are really that enhanced AI. This is immersive fallout enhanced AI is what I'm playing with here. And boy, even despite the fact that I put the first pip in stealth, they are really detecting me pretty hard, which is a little bit disturbing. Death Claws, it's about, well, it's about, again, stealth and detection. I have, again, when I've attempted uh, survival runs in the past, I have, like I said, I'd never completed one in the past. Death Claws have killed me on occasion, for sure. But I found that once I get up a couple levels, I can, once I get up to at least in the 15 range, I can usually get enough proficiency with long distance kills and explosives that I can take out a Deathclaw before they can close on me. The one, of course, that's scripted in the not scripted, but part of the main quest. He's not particularly challenging as long as you stay indoors. And I am definitely not above cheesing it on those particular encounters. Take a quick drink here. I'm wondering if I should. Speaking of grenades, I'm wondering if I should frag these guys. Have it at the ready. Okay, where is that guy? There we are. Wow,
Who's there?
they are right on me, aren't they?
Shit's got ambushed. You guys got me stirred up over nothing.
You guys. I think this raider is psychologically disturbed. There's only one guy down there, and that's the dog, and a dead body. So that's a pretty disturbing. I really don't want to have to try to use the grenade because I'm terrified of the grenade bouncing off my off the rock face here or something. Oh man, they're going over there. This is really dangerous. Well, yeah, throwables are just at least until you get until you have to invest in the demolitions expert before it becomes viable because you get a throwing arc. But before that, it's just too easy. Part of that is, of course, just the game engine. It doesn't really do a good job of where did they go? All right, I've lost track of them, and that really bugs me. I think we're going to retreat. I don't like losing track of the enemy. I know they went that way, so I'm going to go this way. But yeah, once you get a throwing arc, it's viable. But before that, I don't. There they are. I don't know. They're just honing in on me too much here. I cannot get close to them. All that raider needs to do is get a shot off before I do, and I'm done for on this difficulty with this amount of damage multiplier. And there they are over there. I don't know. I think you know what? I think I'm going to retreat. I am going to retreat and come back here when I have a distance weapon. I need to be able to get those guys from longer distance. And this, again, permadeath playthrough. You just play differently. I'm not going to take these sort of kind of like adventurous risks here. Doesn't make any sense. Like, let me come back and deal with them later. Gonna hide out in my house. across the log here. And look at that, I'm already peckish again. So I don't know. I was saying earlier that I don't really like investing in pipe pistols. I might need to have to make a pipe rifle. Oh, and there we go. There's the telltale signs of a radiation storm. My general principle is that what I'm going to focus on is I'm actually going to probably not take a lot of factions. You know what I should do? I should get into that basement. I'm not going to take a lot of faction sides early on in the game because I don't know. I'm trying to do this in a way that makes sense to me, and I don't think. I mean, honestly, if the guy was looking for his son, he probably would not be in a hurry to join the Minutemen and help them out on their stuff. I was thinking of Brotherhood of Steel just because, pardon me, on survival having the access to the vertibirds is really handy, but also the Brotherhood quest line is pretty lethal. It's there's that one where you're fighting the super mutants on the island. You're coming in by vertibird. I think when I've done that, I've maybe died probably half the time I've done that quest in the vertibird. So that's that seems a little dangerous. Yeah, I mean, so there are benefits and there are downsides. So, well, let's hope that I know I'm still tired, but let's hope that the radiation storm has ended. Doesn't always. Sometimes it really goes on and on and on. Nope, still going. Still going. It's still going. Okay, fine. Go down here and you can summon vertibirds. In basically, you throw down a marker grenade, and they will come pick you up and then take you to where you want to go. So that is on survival, where you don't have any fast travel. That's huge. So that can be very, very handy. Still tired. I'm awake, still tired. So you cannot get a good night's rest on those dirty, dirty mattresses. But what I think I will do is, again, I mean, if you follow the plot of the game, and again, the point of this permadeath run is to actually complete the main quests. I'm gonna have to join the railroad at some point. You have to, just to at least get in their door. So, and then it's a matter of just kind of who do you stick with, who's gonna build the device to get you into the Institute. I have done an Institute playthrough before where I stuck with them, but I don't know. It always feels it doesn't feel right to me. I'm never one of those guys who's kind of like plays the quote unquote bad guy faction. Now, again, there's argument is whether the Institute are really bad guys or not, but oh, that's right. I did make a bed here. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, they've done some sketchy stuff. So I don't know. I don't think I'll go with them. We'll see. I'm kind of gonna feel it out as I go. I'll probably end up heading up the Minutemen at some point, just because I do like settlement building. I'm going to be doing that kind of off screen, but I do like it. Unfortunately, I gave myself until 10 a.m. Yep, I just hydrated myself. I gave myself until 10 a.m. to play, and I think I'm going to have to call it call that a break point now. But thanks for joining me, and thanks for watching. I will be playing this usually at night, but we'll be going through my schedule change, of course, as we get into the new year here. But yeah, so this is the beginning of my permadeath playthrough on of Fallout 4, and this is Old Tom Gin, and this is Thomas Jr. here, my avatar for this playthrough, hopefully successful. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Please feel free to join me again. All right, thanks. Take it easy. Have a great day.